time to develop and some skills will just take you a little bit more time. If you continue to stay consistent with it, it'll pay you back great dividends. Here's some strategies that I use and I coach others on to help them to better manage their day. The very first thing I would have you do is to break down all the different activities that you do and break them down into 6 specific categories. Executive time is the very first one. This would have to do anything that has to do with relationship to life planning or goal setting or reviewing your business plan or meeting with your staff on a strategic basis, whether the staff is a paid staff on your payroll or on the payroll of your company. This is time where you're going to sit down and work on your business to be able to improve the business, and this is a drastically important category that most people miss. They just continue to let this thing slip by and say they're going to do it, but they never take a consistent time each and every day or each and every week to review their plan. The second area of time is marketing, and I define marketing time as anything that's related to the communication with more than 2 people. So that would include, writing a newsletter or creating marketing pieces, downloading tools and resources and putting your name and information on them, and then getting it out there into the marketplace into a marketing type atmosphere. So that would include networking events, visiting real estate offices where you're going to see more than 2 people. The third area is anything with less than 2 people. So that would be, your prospecting, your approaching, problem identification, presenting, meeting with clients, meeting with referral partners, and really sitting down to develop the sales relationship and to close that relationship on a purchase basis, and then to follow up with that relationship. So everything that you do in regards to your executive responsibilities, write that down. Then everything underneath marketing as it relates to creation of a newsletter, creation of an email campaign or direct mail campaign, or working on your website, anything as it relates to that particular category, put underneath your marketing category. The third area, sales time. Client meetings, strategic planning with clients, or strategic planning with referral partners, that would go underneath sales time. The fourth area of time is processing, and that would include anything that has to do with the fulfillment of a sale. So after you've met with the client and you've got the client to commit to you, what are the activities that you have to do to get that sale to closing or to get that sale to when you get your commission? All that activity would go into the processing category. The fifth category is coaching and training. And what I find is that most people don't spend enough time developing their skills. Some people spend a tremendous amount of time in this area but don't spend a lot of time implementing it. A healthy balance is going to help you to produce more at the end of every day. So what time are you going to spend during each and every day? I want you just to write these activities out underneath coaching and training. That could be attending webinars or seminars. But what are all the activities as it relates to your personal training in regards to your advancement of your personal skills and professional skills? The last category is kind of a catch-all, but anything that doesn't fall into the first 5 categories would fall into this 6th category, and I just label it operations. This would include faxing, copying, talking with wholesale account executives, or anything that would be basically just kind of catch-all, answering the phone, returning emails that are non-sales related or non-marketing related. All that falls into your operations time. Now, once you have all these lists of the different activities that you do, you can now begin to start searching out your most effective time or most effective activities and most highest payoff activities, and you can take those and you can begin to start putting those into your week. You may have heard the example of the guy that ends up having 2 big jars, and he's got different sizes of rocks, and he's got an equal amount on both sides of these 2 individual jars, which are the exact same size. And what he does in the first jar is he begins to put the little rocks in first, and then he puts the medium-sized rocks in. And then, when he tries to put the big rocks in, he can't get them all in, just simply because of the chronological order that he put them in. On the second bowl, he begins to put in the big rocks first, and then he puts the medium-sized rocks, and then he puts the small rocks in. And what happens is, because the chronological order that he did put those rocks together, he got them all in the particular bowl or the bucket. And the same thing goes for your life and your calendar, is that you've only been given 24 hours during the day. You've got to choose to use that time as wisely as you possibly can. How I found to be effective is I take all the things that I really want to do, and I put those specific things in my calendar as appointments. Some people call it time blocking. And this is very simple. All you have to do is just simply take a table that's at least 6 columns wide. And on the second column, on the very top row, write the word Monday, and then in the third column, write the word Tuesday, and go along the line so that you have all 6 columns with 5 days out of the week. If you want to go for Saturday and Sunday, you can, but you can leave those to chance if you'd like. On the rows, I want you just to break it down into 30-minute increments of time. So start out with like 5:30 and go all the way down until 10:30 at night if you like. And begin to just itemize out where you'd like to spend your highest payoff activities. Now, I believe that you can design and live an extraordinary life. But that's the whole point, is that you have to design it. You have to sit down and say, this is how I'd like to live my life. Now, there's going to be people that are going to try to thwart that. They're going to try to challenge what you're wanting to do. And so you're going to have to be strong with this. You're going to have to be able to courteously say no to anybody that tries to thwart your schedule. Now, there are times that you need to make exceptions, and you can decide when to make those exceptions. But if all your schedule is a bunch of exceptions, you really haven't designed and lived that life that you wanted to live. So now just begin to take those times or those activities that are on your spreadsheet and begin to drop those into the different 30-minute chunks of time. If you're working a 40 or 50-hour work week, you have potentially 80 to 100 30-minute chunks of time. So I just begin to start dropping in. Okay, here's the time that I'd like to be taking appointments. Here's the time that I'd like to be following up on my referral partners. Here's the time that I'd like to specifically dedicate to executive time. Here's the time that I need for operational activities. And if you begin to start structuring your day that way and begin to get a good idea of what your ideal work week looks like, you can begin to strive for that perfection on a weekly basis or a daily basis to start. And over time, you'll see yourself improve. What I've found is that if I begin to continue to look at this on a daily basis and even move this time blocking stuff into my actual calendar, I use Microsoft Outlook, and it works perfectly for me because I can begin to say, hey, here's the appointments that I already have. Now, they may be general appointments without a specific name or date on them, but I'm going to give myself a specific understanding that, hey, from 2:30 to 3:30 on Wednesdays, I'm following up with my referral partners. And that's an appointment that I don't schedule over the top of. And if you need to make an exception, you can make it up someplace else. Just like if you had an appointment with somebody that you needed to move, you would do the same thing for them. If you had an emergency pop up, you can move it around, but then you're always getting in the time that you need to get in. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I wish you the best and success today and in the future. Thanks a lot.